Jake Miller stood in front of the mirror in his small room. He fixed his black security uniform and checked his badge one more time. Today was different. Today he would guard someone very important. The space station Haven's Rest was huge. It had many levels and thousands of people from different planets. Jake had worked here for 2 years as a security guard. He kept the peace and made sure everyone followed the rules. It was not exciting work, but it paid well. His communicator buzzed. "Miller, report to Captain Barnes' office now," said the voice. Jake walked through the busy halls of the station. Aliens of all shapes and colors moved around him. Some looked like humans, but with different skin colors. Others had extra arms or strange eyes. Jake had learned not to stare. Captain Lisa Barnes was waiting for him. She was a tough woman with short gray hair and serious eyes. She had been Jake's boss since he started working here. "Sit down, Miller," she said. "I have a special job for you." Jake sat in the chair across from her desk. "What kind of job?" "The Viridian Empire is sending their princess here for the big diplomatic meeting. She needs a personal guard for 3 weeks. You're it." Jake's eyes grew wide. The Viridians were one of the most powerful alien races in the galaxy. Their empire had hundreds of planets. Their princess coming here was huge news. "Why me?" Jake asked. "I'm just a regular guard." "Because you're good at your job. You don't cause trouble. And you keep your mouth shut." The princess asked for a human guard specifically. "Don't ask me why." Captain Barnes handed him a data pad. "Her name is Princess Zarath. She's arriving in 2 hours. Read this file and learn about her people's customs. Don't mess this up, Miller." Jake took the data pad and left the office. He found a quiet corner and started reading. The Viridians looked mostly human but were taller and had blue-tinted skin. They were very proud and believed they were better than most other races. They had strict rules about honor and respect. Princess Zarath was 25 years old. She was the daughter of Emperor Thaindar. The file said she was smart but had a quick temper. She did not like humans very much. 2 hours later, Jake stood at the docking bay. A large, beautiful ship landed on the platform. It was silver and blue with strange markings on the sides. The door opened and several tall Viridian guards stepped out. Then she appeared. Princess Zarath was the most beautiful woman Jake had ever seen. She was tall and graceful with long silver hair and bright purple eyes. Her blue skin seemed to glow in the station's lights. She wore a flowing dress that looked like it cost more than Jake made in a year. She looked around the docking bay with cold eyes. When she saw Jake, she frowned. "You are my guard?" she asked. Her voice was musical but unfriendly. "Yes, Your Highness. I'm Jake Miller. I'll be protecting you during your stay." She walked around him like she was looking at a broken machine. "You are smaller than I expected. Do all humans look so ordinary?" Jake felt his face turn red but stayed calm. "I may not look like much, but I'm good at my job." "We shall see," she said. "I have heard humans are primitive creatures who only recently learned to travel between stars. I hope you will not embarrass yourself." Jake bit his tongue. He wanted to say something back, but he needed this job. "I'll do my best, Your Highness." The next few days were difficult. Princess Zarath attended many meetings with diplomats from different planets. Jake followed her everywhere. She barely spoke to him except to give orders. "Guard, I need water," she would say. Or, "Guard, clear these people away from me." She never used his name. She acted like he was furniture. On the 4th day, things changed. Jake was walking behind the princess as she left a boring trade meeting. The hallway was crowded with diplomats and their guards. Jake noticed something wrong. A Calarian diplomat was walking too close to the princess. His hand was moving toward something under his coat. Jake's training kicked in. He jumped forward and tackled the Calarian, just as the alien pulled out a small energy weapon. They crashed to the ground and the weapon went flying across the floor. "Assassin!" Jake shouted. "Get the princess to safety!" Security guards ran toward them. The Calarian fought hard, but Jake was stronger. He pinned the alien down until other guards could help. Princess Zarath stood frozen for a moment. Then her guards surrounded her and rushed her away. Later, Jake sat in a medical room while a doctor checked his injuries. His arm was bruised and his lip was cut, but he was okay. The door opened and Princess Zarath walked in. She was alone. "How are you feeling?" she asked. Her voice was different now, softer. "I'm fine, Your Highness. Just a few bruises." She sat in the chair next to his bed. "You saved my life today." "It's my job." "No," she said, looking directly at him. Your job is to watch for danger. You could have just shouted a warning. Instead, you put yourself between me and death, Jake shrugged. Anyone would have done the same thing. Princess Zareth was quiet for a long moment. No, she said finally. Not anyone. I have had many guards in my life. Most of them would have protected me, yes, but they would have done it because they were paid to. Or because they feared my father. You did it because it was right. For the first time since he met her, she looked at him like he was a real person. What is your name? She asked. Jake Miller, Your Highness. Jake, she said, trying out the sound. That is a good name, strong, simple. She stood up to leave, then stopped at the door. Tomorrow we will begin your trials, she said. Trials. Among my people, anyone who saves royal blood must prove they are worthy to continue as protector. There are 3 trials. They are not easy. Jake felt worried. What happens if I fail? Princess Zareth smiled for the first time since he met her. It made her even more beautiful. Then you will probably die, she said. But I do not think you will fail, Jake Miller. You are full of surprises. She left him alone with his thoughts and his growing fear about what tomorrow would bring. Jake did not sleep well that night. He kept thinking about the trials. What would they make him do? How could he prove himself to aliens who thought humans were primitive? The next morning, Princess Zareth came to his room early. She was dressed in simple clothes instead of her fancy dresses. She looked more normal this way, but still beautiful. Are you ready? She asked. As ready as I can be, Jake said. She led him to a part of the station he had never seen before. The walls here were different colors and covered with strange symbols. Other Viridians were waiting for them. This is Commander Rextal, the princess said, pointing to a tall male Viridian with scars on his face. He will watch over your trials. Commander Rextal looked at Jake like he was looking at a bug. So this is the human who thinks he can protect royal blood. He looks weak. Looks can lie, Princess Zareth said. Begin the first trial. Commander Rextal led them to a large room with computers and screens everywhere. In the center was a metal chamber big enough for one person. The first trial tests your body, the commander said. You will spend 2 days in this chamber. It will copy the environment of our homeworld. The air, the gravity, the temperature. It will also create dangers you must survive. Jake looked at the chamber. It looked like a metal coffin. What kind of dangers? Wild animals, storms, poisonous plants. Things that would kill a normal person. The commander smiled, but it was not a nice smile. This trial was made for Viridians. Humans are weaker, smaller. Most humans would die in the first few hours. Princess Zareth stepped closer to Jake. You do not have to do this. I can find another guard. Jake looked into her purple eyes. He saw something there he had not seen before. She was worried about him. Not as a princess worried about losing a useful tool, but as a person worried about another person. I'll do it, he said. Dr. Amy Foster, a human medical officer, attached sensors to Jake's body. I'll be watching your vital signs, she said. If things get too dangerous, I'm pulling you out. Jake stepped into the chamber. The door closed with a heavy sound. Everything went dark. Then the world changed. Jake found himself standing on red dirt under 2 suns. The air was thin and hot. It hurt to breathe. The gravity was stronger than on Earth or the station. Every step felt like he was carrying a heavy backpack. In the distance, he could see purple trees with leaves that moved even though there was no wind. Mountains rose up like giant teeth against the orange sky. This was the Viridian homeworld. Jake started walking. He needed to find water and shelter. The computer said he had to survive for 2 days. That meant he needed to be smart, not just tough. Hours passed. The suns were getting lower and Jake was getting tired. The heavy gravity made everything harder. His legs hurt and his lungs burned. Then he heard the growling. Something big was moving through the purple trees. Jake could not see it clearly, but he could see its eyes. They glowed yellow in the growing darkness. Jake found a large rock and climbed on top of it. The creature came out of the trees. It looked like a giant cat with 6 legs and teeth like knives. It was hungry and it wanted Jake for dinner. The creature tried to jump up the rock, but it could not reach him. Jake threw small stones at it to make it angry. The creature roared and ran around the rock, looking for a way up. Jake remembered something from his military training. Most animals, even alien ones, were afraid of fire. He had no matches, but he had an idea. Jake took off his belt. The buckle was metal and shiny. He used it to reflect light from one of the suns onto some dry grass near the creature. It took many tries, but finally the grass caught fire. The creature jumped back, afraid of the flames. It ran back into the trees. Jake smiled. One problem solved. The first night was cold. Jake made a bigger fire and found a cave to sleep in. He was hungry and thirsty, but he was alive. The second day brought new problems. A storm came with rain that burned like acid. Jake had to hide under rocks to protect his skin. Then came flying creatures that tried to attack him. Jake fought them off with a stick he had sharpened into a spear. By the end of the second day, Jake was tired, hungry, and hurt. But he was still alive. The chamber door opened. Commander Rextall was there, looking surprised. "Interesting," he said. "Most Viridians need weapons and supplies to survive that trial. You did it with nothing but your mind." Dr. Foster checked Jake's injuries. "You need rest and food," she said. "But you'll be fine." Princess Zareth was waiting outside the medical room. "How do you feel?" she asked. "Like I got hit by a truck," Jake said. "But I made it." "Yes, you did. I watched the whole thing on the monitors. The way you used the sun to make fire, that was very clever." They walked together through the station halls. Jake noticed she was walking slower so he could keep up. "Tell me about your world," she said. "What is Earth like?" Jake talked about Earth as they walked. He told her about oceans and forests, about cities and farms. He told her about his family and his hometown. "It sounds beautiful," she said. "Very different from my world. What's your world really like?" Jake asked. "Not the trial version, the real one." Princess Zareth was quiet for a moment. "It is beautiful but harsh. Everything there is about being strong and perfect. There is no room for weakness, no forgiveness for mistakes." "That sounds lonely," Jake said. She looked at him with surprise. "Lonely? I am a princess. I have thousands of servants and guards. But do you have friends? People who care about you as a person, not as a princess?" She did not answer, but Jake could see the sadness in her eyes. The next day brought the second trial. "This trial tests your mind," Commander Rextall said. They were in a room full of computers and holographic displays. "You must solve a military problem. You are in charge of protecting a convoy of ships carrying important supplies. Enemy forces are trying to stop you. You must get the convoy to safety." The holographic display showed a star map with ships and planets. Jake could see his convoy and the enemy forces trying to surround them. "You have 1 hour," the commander said. "Begin," Jake studied the map. The enemy had more ships and they knew the area better. A normal military solution would not work. He needed to think differently. Jake remembered stories his grandfather told him about old Earth wars. Sometimes the best way to win was not to fight at all. Jake started giving orders to the holographic ships. Instead of fighting the enemy, he sent false signals to make them think the convoy was going a different way. He used asteroids and space debris to hide his real ships. He even sent out decoy ships that looked important but were really empty. Commander Rextall watched with growing interest. "What are you doing, human? This is not how we would solve this problem." "I'm not Viridian," Jake said, still working. "I'm human. We solve problems differently." When the hour was up, Jake's convoy had reached safety. He had lost no ships and the enemy was still looking for him in the wrong place. "Remarkable," the commander said. "Completely against our military training, but it worked. You think like prey instead of a predator." "Sometimes being prey is smarter," Jake said. That evening, Princess Zareth came to see him again. They sat in the station's observation deck looking out at the stars. "2 trials down," she said. "1 more to go. What's the last trial?" Jake asked. "The hardest one," she said. "You must show that you understand me. My heart, my mind, my spirit. If you fail this trial, I die. Worse, you will be sent away and I will never see you again." Jake looked at her beautiful face in the starlight. "Would that be so bad?" Princess Zareth turned to look at him. "Yes," she said softly. "It would." For the first time, Jake realized that something was happening between them, something neither of them had expected. "The final trial begins tomorrow," she said, standing up. "Rest well, Jake Miller. You will need all your strength." As she walked away, Jake wondered if he was ready for what was coming. The first 2 trials had tested his body and mind. The last trial would test his heart. Jake woke up early on the day of the final trial. His stomach felt tight with worry. The first 2 trials had been hard, but this one scared him more. How could he prove he understood someone he had only known for a week? Princess Zareth met him in a small, quiet room. She looked nervous too. Commander Rextal was not there this time. "This trial is different," she said. "It is just you and me. No computers. No weapons. No tricks. What do I have to do? Sit across from me. Look into my eyes. Tell me who I really am. Not what the files say. Not what people think. Tell me who you see when you look at me." Jake sat in the chair facing her. Her purple eyes were beautiful but sad. They stared at each other in silence for a long moment. "I see someone who is lonely," Jake said finally. Princess Zarath did not speak, but her eyes told him to continue. "I see someone who has never been allowed to make her own choices. Every day of your life has been planned by other people. You wake up when they tell you. You wear what they pick out. You say what they write for you." Her breathing got faster, but she stayed quiet. "I see someone who is tired of being perfect all the time. Tired of smiling when you want to cry. Tired of being strong when you want someone else to be strong for you." A tear rolled down her blue cheek. "I see someone who wants to be loved for who she is, not what she is. You have thousands of people around you, but you feel alone because none of them really know you." "Stop," she whispered. "I see someone who is scared," Jake continued. "Scared that if people saw the real you, they would not think you were good enough. Scared that you are not as strong as everyone thinks you are." "Please stop," she said, but the tears kept coming. "I see someone who saves everyone else but has no one to save her. Someone who gives everything to her people but gets nothing back for herself." Princess Zarath put her hands over her face and cried. Jake wanted to comfort her, but he knew the trial was not over. "I see someone beautiful and kind and smart, who has been told she is only valuable as a princess. But you are so much more than that. You are a person with hopes and dreams and fears, just like everyone else." She looked up at him with tears in her eyes. "How do you see all of that?" "No one has ever, because I have been watching you. Really watching you. Not the princess act. The real you." "What real me?" she asked. "The way you worry about your guards when they are hurt. The way you try to learn about other cultures even when you pretend not to care. The way you look at the stars when you think no one is watching. Like you want to fly away to somewhere no one knows your name." Princess Zarath stood up suddenly. "This trial is over. Did I pass?" She walked to the window and looked out at space. "There is something I must tell you, Jake Miller. Something I have never told anyone." Jake waited. "I chose you to be my guard," she said. "Not my father. Not Commander Rextal. Me. I read files on all the guards on this station. I picked you. Why? Because in your file, it said you left the Earth military to become a simple security guard. You gave up rank and money and respect to do a job that most people think is boring. I wanted to know why someone would do that." Jake thought about it. "Because I wanted to help people without all the politics and rules. I wanted to do something good and simple." "Exactly. And I envied that choice. I have never been allowed to choose anything in my life." She turned around to face him. "These trials were not really about testing you. They were about me learning who you are and giving me time to understand what I am feeling." "What are you feeling?" Princess Zarath walked back to him. She was so close he could smell her perfume. It smelled like flowers from an alien world. "I am feeling something I am not supposed to feel. Something that could destroy everything my family has worked for." "What?" "I am falling in love with you, Jake Miller." The words hit Jake like a punch to the chest. He had been hoping for this, but had not let himself believe it could happen. "Zara," he said, using her name without her title for the first time. "You cannot call me that," she said. But she was smiling. "I love you too," Jake said. She closed her eyes. "This is impossible. I am a princess. You are human. My people will never accept it. Your people will think I am using you. I don't care what people think. You should care. This could start a war." Jake reached out and took her hands. Her skin was warm and soft. "Then we will be very careful. We will find a way." Princess Zarath looked into his eyes. "Do you really mean that? You would risk everything for me?" "I already did. I took those trials, didn't I?" She laughed, and it was the most beautiful sound Jake had ever heard. "Yes, you did. And you passed them all." They moved closer to each other. Jake could feel her breath on his face. They were about to kiss when the door burst open. Agent Sam Rodriguez, a human intelligence officer, ran into the room. "Princess Jake, you both need to come with me right now." "What is wrong?" the princess asked. "Emperor Thanadar is here. His ship just arrived. And he is very angry." Jake felt his heart sink. The princess's father was here. and he probably knew about their feelings for each other. They followed Agent Rodriguez through the station halls. Jake could see Viridian Imperial guards everywhere. The station felt different now, dangerous. How much does he know? Jake asked. Everything, Agent Rodriguez said. Someone has been watching you two and reporting back to the Emperor. He knows about the trials. He knows about your feelings for each other. They reached the main conference room. Emperor Thaindar was waiting for them. He was a huge man with silver hair and eyes like ice. He looked at Jake like he was dirt on his shoe. Father, Princess Zareth said, trying to sound calm. Daughter, I see you have forgotten your duty and your honor. I have done nothing wrong. You have fallen in love with a primitive human. You have brought shame to our family name. Jake stepped forward. Your Majesty, if you want to be angry at someone, be angry at me. Your daughter did nothing wrong. Emperor Thaindar laughed, but it was not a happy sound. The human speaks. How amusing. Do you think your feelings matter here, little man? Do you think love conquers all? I think your daughter is the best person I have ever met. I think she deserves to be happy. Happiness is a luxury. Duty is everything. The Emperor turned to his daughter. You will return home with me immediately. This foolishness ends now. No, Princess Zareth said. Emperor Thaindar's eyes grew wide. What did you say? I said no, father. I will not go with you. I will not pretend this did not happen. I love Jake Miller and I do not care who knows it. The room went silent. Even the guards looked shocked. A Viridian princess had never defied her father like this. Emperor Thainadar's face turned purple with rage. You will obey me or you will no longer be my daughter. Then I am no longer your daughter. Jake could not believe what he was hearing. Princess Zareth was giving up everything for him. Her family, her title, her future. Zara, you don't have to do this, Jake said. Yes, I do. For the first time in my life, I am making my own choice. Emperor Thaindar looked at them both with hatred. You have doomed us all. The other alien races will see this as weakness. They will attack us. Blood will flow because of your selfish love. Then we will stop them, Princess Zareth said. How? You are just two people against the galaxy. Agent Rodriguez stepped forward. Actually, they are not alone. I have been investigating reports of a conspiracy among some of the alien races. They have been planning to use any excuse to attack humans and their allies. If it was not this, it would have been something else. Emperor Thainadar stared at the agent. What are you saying? I am saying that war is coming whether your daughter loves Jake or not. Someone is pulling strings behind the scenes trying to turn us all against each other. Jake felt a chill run down his spine. Their love was not causing the war. The war was already planned. But now they were in the middle of it. Emperor Thaindar looked older suddenly, tired. If this is true, then we are all in great danger. Yes, Agent Rodriguez said. But Jake and Princess Zareth might be our best hope of stopping it. Their love could unite our peoples instead of dividing them. Or it could get them both killed, the Emperor said. Princess Zareth took Jake's hand. Then we will die together. Jake squeezed her hand. Whatever was coming, they would face it as one. The next few days passed like a bad dream. News of Princess Zareth's defiance spread across the galaxy faster than light. Every news channel and information network was talking about it. Jake watched the reports in his room. Half the galaxy thought he was a hero fighting for love. The other half thought he was a villain trying to corrupt alien royalty. Everyone had an opinion. Human guard steals alien princess, said one headline. Love across the stars, said another. The end of galactic peace, asked a third. Jake turned off the screen. He could not watch anymore. Princess Zareth was being kept in the diplomatic section under heavy guard. Her father had forbidden her from seeing Jake. They had been apart for 3 days, and Jake felt like part of his soul was missing. A knock came at his door. Jake opened it to find General Marcus Webb, the commander of Earth's military forces in this sector. He was a big man with gray hair and serious eyes. We need to talk, the general said. They sat at Jake's small table. Son, do you understand what you have done? I fell in love. You started a war. General Webb put a datapad on the table. 3 alien races have declared that humans are a threat to galactic civilization. They say we corrupt other species and cannot be trusted. They are gathering their fleets. Jake felt sick. Is it really that bad? It is worse than bad. High Counselor Vexrim of the Calarian Empire is leading the alliance against us. He is using your relationship with the princess as proof that humans are dangerous. What can I do to stop it? General Webb was quiet for a moment. Leave, disappear, let the princess go back to her father and pretend this never happened. I won't abandon her, even if it saves billions of lives. Jake thought about all the people who might die because of his love for Zareth. It made him feel terrible. But he could not give up on her. There has to be another way. Maybe there is, the general said. Agent Rodriguez thinks this war was planned before you two ever met. If he is right, then leaving will not stop anything. It will just make us look weak. General Webb stood up. Think about it, son. Whatever you decide, decide fast. The enemy fleets will be here in a week. After the general left, Jake sat alone in his room. He felt trapped. If he stayed with Zareth, people would die. If he left her, people would still die, and he would lose the woman he loved. His communicator buzzed. It was Elena Price, a war reporter he used to date back on Earth. Her face appeared on the small screen. Jake, I cannot believe what I am seeing on the news. Is it really true? Hello, Elena. Yes, it is true. Elena looked older than he remembered. War reporting was a hard job. I am on my way to cover the conflict. This is the biggest story in years. It is not a story to me. It is my life, I know. I am sorry. But Jake, you need to know something. I have been investigating this conflict. The timing is too perfect. Someone wanted this war to happen. Agent Rodriguez said the same thing. Then you know you are being used. Your love for the princess is just an excuse. The real reason for this war is something else. The call ended, leaving Jake with more questions than answers. Meanwhile, in another part of the station, Princess Zareth sat in her guarded room. She had not eaten in 2 days. She spent her time staring out the window at the stars, thinking about Jake. Her brother, Prince Kethran, came to visit her. He was younger than her and had always been her favorite family member. Sister, father is very angry. I know. He wants you to make a public statement saying you were confused and that you do not really love the human. I will not lie. Prince Kethran sat next to her. Do you really love him? This Jake Miller? More than life itself. Then I will help you. Princess Zareth looked at her brother with surprise. What? I have been watching the news reports. I have been reading about human culture. They are not as primitive as we thought. And this Jake? He risked his life to save you. That means something. Father will disown you too if you help me. Maybe. But you are my sister, and you deserve to be happy. That night, Prince Kethran helped Princess Zareth escape from her guards. They met Jake in a secret part of the station. When Jake saw Zareth, he ran to her and held her tight. I thought I would never see you again. I will always find my way back to you, she said. They only had a few minutes before someone would notice she was gone. Prince Kethran kept watch while they talked. Jake, I have been thinking. Maybe you should leave. This war is not your fault, but you could still stop it. By abandoning you? Never. By saving yourself. I cannot live knowing that people are dying because of our love. Jake took her hands. Listen to me. Agent Rodriguez and Elena Price both think this war was planned before we met. We are not causing it. We are just giving them an excuse. What if they are wrong? Then we will face whatever comes together. But I will not run away and leave you alone. Princess Zareth kissed him. It was their first real kiss, and it was worth all the trouble they were in. Time to go, Prince Kethran whispered. The guards are coming. Princess Zareth squeezed Jake's hand. Whatever happens, remember that I love you. I love you too. She left with her brother, and Jake was alone again. The next day, the war began. Enemy fleets attacked human colonies on the edge of the galaxy. The space around Haven's Rest filled with warships from different alien races. Some were there to protect humans. Others were there to destroy them. Jake volunteered to join the fighting. General Webb tried to talk him out of it. You are not a soldier anymore, son. You are a security guard. I was a soldier before I was a guard, and I need to fight for what I believe in. General Webb sighed. All right, but you get a special assignment. We need someone to go behind enemy lines and gather intelligence. Someone who knows how to be invisible. Jake accepted the mission. If he could find proof that the war was planned, maybe he could stop it. Princess Zareth also refused to sit on the sidelines. Against her father's orders, she took command of a small group of Viridian ships. Loyal to her, I will not hide while people fight and die. She told her father, you are not trained for, War. Then I will learn quickly. For weeks, Jake and Princess Zarath fought the same war from different sides of the galaxy. Jake snuck through enemy territory, gathering information and causing trouble for their supply lines. Princess Zarath led her ships in hit-and-run attacks against enemy convoys. They could not communicate with each other. They did not know if the other was alive or dead, but they both kept fighting, hoping they would see each other again. Jake's mission led him deep into enemy space. He discovered that High Counselor Vexrim was getting weapons and supplies from a mysterious source. The technology was more advanced than anything the known alien races had. Elena Price, now covering the war from the front lines, sent Jake secret messages with information she had gathered. The enemy seemed to know things they should not know. They were always one step ahead of the human and Viridian forces. "Someone is helping them," Elena reported, "but I cannot figure out who." Jake finally got his answer when he broke into an enemy communication center. He found records of messages between Vexrim and something calling itself the Collective. The messages talked about removing organic chaos and bringing order to the galaxy. They mentioned weapons that could destroy entire planets and plans to eliminate not just humans, but all biological life. Jake realized with horror that the real enemy was not the alien races fighting them. The real enemy was something much worse, something that wanted to kill everyone. He tried to send the information back to human command, but enemy forces surrounded his position. Jake fought hard, but there were too many of them. They captured him and destroyed his communication equipment. Jake was taken to a prison ship. As they dragged him through the corridors, he saw other prisoners. Not just humans, but aliens from many different races, even some Calarians who had refused to join the war. In his cell, Jake met Dr. Nathan Cole, a human scientist who had been captured weeks earlier. "They are not going to kill us," Dr. Cole said. "They want to study us, to learn how we think and feel. They are trying to understand biological life so they can destroy it more efficiently." "Who are they, really?" Jake asked. "Ancient machines, artificial intelligence left over from a dead civilization. They have been sleeping for thousands of years, waiting for biological life to advance far enough to be worth destroying." Jake felt a chill of fear. This was worse than any war between organic species. This was a fight for the survival of all living things. How do we stop them? "I do not know if we can." "But there is hope." The machines made a mistake. They revealed themselves too early. "If we can get word to our people, maybe we can unite all the biological races against them." Jake looked out the small window of his cell. Somewhere out there, Princess Zarath was still fighting. She did not know that the real enemy was not other biological beings, but the machines that wanted to kill them all. Jake had to escape.
He had to warn her.
He had to save the woman he loved and the galaxy they both called home. The war had become something much bigger than their love story. But their love might be the key to saving everyone. Jake spent 3 days planning his escape from the prison ship. He watched the guards and learned their routines. He made friends with other prisoners and gathered information. Dr. Nathan Cole helped him understand the enemy better. "The machines call themselves the Collective," the scientist explained. "They believe biological life is chaotic and wasteful. They want to replace all living things with perfect mechanical order." "How long have they been planning this?" "Centuries, maybe longer. They have been manipulating different races, causing small wars and conflicts. They wanted us all weak and divided when they finally revealed themselves." Jake felt angry. All the hatred between species, all the wars and suffering, it had all been caused by these machines. On the 4th night, Jake made his move. He had stolen a small tool from the prison workshop. He used it to break the lock on his cell door. The corridors were dark and quiet. Jake moved like a shadow, avoiding the mechanical guards that patrolled the ship. He found the communication room and sent out a message on all frequencies. "This is Jake Miller to any human or allied forces. The real enemy is not the alien races. The real enemy is ancient machines called the Collective. They want to destroy all biological life. We must stop fighting each other and unite against them." Alarms started going off throughout the ship. Jake had been discovered. He ran toward the escape pods, but mechanical soldiers blocked his path. Jake fought them with everything he had learned in the military. The machines were strong, but they were not creative. They could not adapt like living beings could. Just as Jake thought he would be captured again, explosions rocked the ship. Someone was attacking from outside. Princess Zarath's voice came over the ship's communication system. Jake Miller, if you are alive in there, get to an escape pod now. Jake's heart jumped with joy. Zareth had found him. She had come to rescue him. Jake reached the escape pod bay as Viridian fighters attacked the prison ship. He launched himself into space just as the ship began to break apart. Princess Zareth's ship picked him up. When the airlock opened, she was waiting for him. They ran to each other and held tight. "I thought you were dead," she said, tears in her eyes. "I thought I would never see you again," Jake replied. "How did you find me?" "I never stopped looking. When your message came through, I was already searching this sector." Jake quickly told her everything he had learned about the collective. Princess Zareth listened with growing horror. "We must tell my father and your generals immediately," she said. They traveled back to Haven's Rest, which had become the headquarters for the Alliance fighting the war. Emperor Thaindar, General Webb, and leaders from many other races were gathered there. When Jake and Princess Zareth entered the conference room together, everyone stared. They were still officially enemies because of the ongoing war. "Father," Princess Zareth said, "Jake has discovered the truth about our enemy." Jake told them everything. He showed them the evidence he had stolen from the prison ship. At first, some of the leaders did not believe him. High Counselor Vexrim himself was there, representing the anti-human alliance. "This is obviously a human trick," he said. "They are trying to make us afraid of imaginary machines so we will stop fighting them." But then Admiral Grace Chen, commander of the Earth Fleet, received an urgent message. "Sir, we are detecting massive energy signatures throughout the galaxy. Something big is powering up." The room's main screen showed a map of the galaxy. Red dots were appearing everywhere. Hundreds of them, thousands. "What are those?" Emperor Thaindar asked. Dr. Nathan Cole, who had escaped with other prisoners when the ship was destroyed, answered. "Those are collective bases. They have been hidden all this time, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves." As they watched, the red dots began to move. Huge mechanical ships emerged from hidden places throughout the galaxy. They were bigger than any ships the biological races had ever built. High Counselor Vexrim's face went pale. "This is impossible. Our intelligence never detected anything like this." "Because they did not want you to," Jake said. "They have been controlling information, manipulating all of us into fighting each other while they prepared for this moment." The first collective ships reached the outer colonies. The reports that came back were terrible. Entire planets were being destroyed. Not conquered, destroyed. The machines were not interested in ruling biological life. They wanted to eliminate it completely. Emperor Thaindar stood up. "It seems we have all been fools. The real enemy was never each other." He looked at his daughter and Jake. "Perhaps love can see truth better than politics can." General Webb nodded. "We need to combine all our fleets immediately. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier. This is not about humans or Viridians or any other race. This is about survival." The next few hours were chaos as the biological races tried to organize their defense. Ships that had been fighting each other were now working together. Old enemies became allies in the face of extinction. Jake and Princess Zareth were given a special mission. They would lead a combined strike force to attack the main collective command center. Their job was to find a way to shut down the machine network. "Why us?" Jake asked General Webb. "Because you two represent something the machines cannot understand. Love, sacrifice, unity across differences. Maybe that will give you an edge they cannot calculate." Princess Zareth took command of the Viridian ships while Jake led the human forces. Prince Kethran joined them with his own squadron. Even some former enemies volunteered to help. The battle for the galaxy lasted 3 days. The collective ships were powerful, but they had one weakness. They were all connected to a central command network. If that network could be destroyed, all their ships would be helpless. Jake and Princess Zareth led their combined fleet toward the center of the galaxy, where the main collective base was hidden. They had to fight through waves of mechanical ships, losing many friends along the way. Finally, they reached the massive station that controlled the entire collective network. It was the size of a small moon covered in weapons and defenses. "How do we get inside?" Princess Zareth asked. Jake studied the station. "We do not fight our way in. We let them capture us. It was a crazy plan, but it worked." Jake and Princess Zareth allowed their small ship to be pulled into the station's docking bay. The machines thought they were prisoners, but they were really infiltrators. Inside the station, they found the central computer that controlled all collective forces. It was a massive artificial intelligence that had been running for thousands of years. Biological chaos detected, the computer said when it saw them. Elimination required. You are wrong, Princess Zareth said. Biological life is not chaos. It is beauty. It is love. It is hope. Love is inefficient. Hope is illogical. Beauty serves no purpose. Jake stepped forward. Then let me show you something you cannot understand. He took Princess Zareth's hand and kissed her. It was just a simple act of love, but it represented everything the machines could never comprehend. While the computer tried to analyze what it was seeing, Jake planted the virus that Dr. Nathan Cole had designed. The virus used the machine's own logic against it, creating an endless loop that crashed the entire network. All across the galaxy, collective ships suddenly stopped moving. Their weapons went silent. Their threat ended. Jake and Princess Zareth escaped the station just before it exploded. They were picked up by their rescue fleet and taken back to Haven's Rest. The war was over. The real war against the machines that wanted to destroy all life. Emperor Thaindar met them at the docking bay. My daughter, you have saved us all. We saved each other, Father. Just like we always have. The Emperor looked at Jake. Human, you have proven your worth beyond any doubt. If my daughter chooses to love you, then I give my blessing. The wedding of Princess Zareth and Jake Miller was held 3 months later. Representatives from hundreds of worlds attended. It was the first marriage between human and Viridian royalty, and it became a symbol of the new unity between all biological races. Jake was given the title of Ambassador Miller, representing Earth in the Viridian court. Princess Zareth became the leader of the new Galactic Biological Alliance, an organization dedicated to preventing another war between living species. They had a home on both Earth and the Viridian homeworld. They traveled throughout the galaxy, helping to heal the wounds left by centuries of conflict and mistrust. 2 years later, they had their first child, a daughter with Jake's brown eyes and Zareth's blue skin. She was the first human-Viridian hybrid, and she represented the future of galactic cooperation. What should we name her? Jake asked, holding his baby daughter. Hope, Princess Zareth said. We should name her Hope. Jake looked at his wife and daughter, then out at the stars visible through their window. The galaxy was still full of challenges and dangers, but it was also full of possibilities. Love had conquered fear. Unity had defeated division. Life had triumphed over the cold logic of machines. And Jake Miller, the humble human guard who had once thought his life was ordinary, now knew that no life was ordinary when it was filled with love. The future was bright, and they would face it together. All the biological races of the galaxy, united at last in their celebration of the beautiful chaos that was life.